All right, guys. Thank you for joining me again. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you for the 5x5 Paladin. Or were you breaking my balls again? Sarita, thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it. But, yeah. All right. So let's jump right into it. This is not going to be as long. This is probably going to be 20 minutes, maybe half hour. We shall see where this goes. But, so there's a new term, guys, being thrown out there. And, I'm, I'm a, I'm a little not bothered by it because I didn't think that they were going to come up with such a stupid term, but apparently, guys, it's no longer called global warming. It's called global boiling. Thank you for the 5x5, Shay, Nunya, Clay, Ride or Die Chick, WTC, thank you for the 5x5. Kathleen, thank you for the 5x5. Henry, thank you for the 49x49. If I missed anybody, I apologize now. Adriana, Skydive 11, Skydive 11, thank you for the 69. Adriana, thank you for the 5x5. Kathleen Maddox, the t-shirt's still the same. I didn't have time to change. Tiger, thank you for the 4x4. Wolf Mule, Lazarus, thank you for the 5x5. Brian, thank you for the Who by FEW. Thank you for the 17 by 76. Appreciate that. Pesky, Rock, and Teddy, thank you for the 5x5. It's called Summer. Yeah. So, Mr. Landfill, Susan, thank you for the 5x5. Eli, thank you for the 3 5s. And Amber, thank you for the 5x5. So, guys, yeah, whatever, man. Seriously, dude, I mean, oh, why? Like, what would be the sense in telling us that it's climate change? I mean, sorry, not global warming anymore, but it's fucking. I've never heard of such stupidity in my life. And people are not up in arms, but they're telling us we should be worried now. They're like, oh, guys, global boiling, you should be worried. You should be worried because the earth is heating up. Now, I know a lot of you remembered when we were kids. At this age right now, the polar ice caps are all supposed to be gone. New York City and the East Coast was supposed to be underwater, right? And some of California was supposed to be underwater. According to them, I was supposed to have scuba gear and walking around downtown New York. That didn't happen. Adriana, where could you get a T-shirt? Where can you get this T-shirt? Hold on. I think I have the link. I should have the link, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have the link. All right. I'm going to drop it in the chat, guys. That's to the store. If you look through the store, you'll see the T-shirt on there. But yeah. So now they want to call it global boiling and not global warming. Now here is their definition or reason for changing it. Whatever. So the UN, as the UN tells the world, the planet is entering a new era called global boiling. What does that term mean, and how does it affect life in the near future? On July 6th, it's reported to have been the hottest day on Earth since global temperatures were first calculated back in 1979, reaching an average temperature of 7.18 Celsius. I don't know what the fuck that is in degrees. But while the number is well below the scientific boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius, that turns water from liquid to gas. The global boiling is a term recently used to underline the severity of climate change. More scaring, more tactical bullshit. Whatever, man. So now, according to they said water starts boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. It gets hot during the summer months, and then it gets cool again. So listen, I would be concerned if we had hot temperatures all year round. I would be concerned, yes. If the entire planet was fucking hot all of a sudden year round, I would be concerned. If the water was starting to evaporate, then I would be concerned. But I'm not. And every year it gets hot, and then it cools off. Then it goes through a cooling period, which they said that was supposed to happen. So we were supposed to go through two things. We were supposed to go through no polar ice caps, and then we were supposed to go through an ice age, a mini ice age. We've seen neither. We've seen the same thing. Yeah, the Earth got hot for the first time since recorded temperature. But listen, again, guys, if this was an ongoing thing, I'd be fucking worried. Anyway, according to Climate Change Institute, the global air temperature has risen 16.25 Celsius on July 25th from 1979 to 2000. That's from 17. Oh, sorry, from or to 17.4% Celsius on July 24th. So, I read this wrong. From July 25th of 1979, it was 16.25 degrees Celsius. 25 degrees Celsius, right? Yeah, not Fahrenheit. July 25th of 2000, it went to 17.14 degrees Celsius. July is on course to become the hottest month since records began. That's July. We're already in August, and this article was written July 28th. The global average has been calculated using data gleaned from about 20,000 weather stations, ocean vessels, buoys, and satellites for the past 14 years. Records of the planet's surface temperature date back to the mid-19th century, when measures were near surface air temperatures from weather stations were combined with data recorded from ocean surfaces by ships and buoys. To elevate temperatures before then, scientists relied on proxy data recorded through evidence left behind in the ice cores, tree rings from ancient forests, which we're losing a lot of those ancient forests, by the way. Global temperatures are elevated each year by scientists who examine data set from our four main outlets. Boo the fuck who. All right, big fucking deal. Not the end of the fucking world. That was one article by psych.org. They're pretty fucking liberal, if I'm not mistaken. So this is by CNBC. So bear with me. The era of global boiling has arrived, says UN boss. The White House announced provision to protect workers from extreme heat. So let's get on with the fucking articles. Get on with the charades, or the charades, however you want to say it. So the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in a speech Thursday at the UN headquarters in New York City, focused on new data released from the European Union and the Weather Meteorological Organization, WML, declaring July is the hottest month on record. On Thursday, President Biden announced provision to protect workers and communities from extreme heat and meeting schedules with Mayor Kate, Phoenix, and Mayor Ron Nirenberg of San Antonio, Texas, to discuss how the cities are handling extreme heat and how the federal government can help. You don't want their help. You're in their back pocket once that happens. Phoenix has seen brutal heat early this month, and the city broke a 1974 record for a consecutive number of days. The temperature reached 110. Now, they're going off of 1 year, 2023, comparing it to a 1974 record. If this happens for the next 2 or 3 years, then I would be concerned if I lived in those hot-ass states. But they're basing it off of 1 fucking year that it happened. And like I said before, this has happened before, a long time ago, guys. This is not... Earth has gone through these phases before. They're trying to make it seem like this is the first time. Now, they're saying it's the first time since it was recorded. But when scientists have gone back in ice cores and tree rings and even rocks, they have seen this heat before centuries ago. If not millenniums ago, right? Is that right? Thousands of years ago, sorry. Right? So they've seen this before. This is not the first time. But if this is ongoing for the next couple of years, then they could raise the alarm. but they saw it in 1 year. And that's what I'm like, well, they saw it raise from 1974 to 2000. Yeah. But it being the hottest on record since 1974, there's a fucking problem. So anyway, vast parts of North Africa, Asia, North America, sorry, Asia, Africa, and Europe are seeing a cruel summer. For the entire planet, guys, this is a disaster. So they say. This is Gutierrez saying this. The record heat affecting communities across the globe was caused by climate change, whatever. And although the phenomenon has been predicted, the pace of climate change is devastating, according to Gutierrez, which is the asshole that works with the UN. For scientists, it is unequivocal humans are to blame. What the actual fuck? So now they're blaming us. Now they're blaming humans again. Though I do think we have a part of it, we are not unequivocal. There are other things at play, guys, like this nature doing its thing. The sun ramping up its power, so they said. So if the sun's getting hotter, but they're blaming us, I don't know how that's going. And yes, there is one aspect we are to blame. We're cutting down the trees. So the carbon emissions can't go anywhere if trees can't filter it out. Trees are our filters, are our air scrubbers, if you will. But if we keep cutting trees down, because look at the Amazon rainforest, it used to take you something like, I thought it was 3 months. It was actually a year. If you were dropped in the center of the rainforest, it would take you a year to get out of the rainforest in either direction if you drop square dab in the middle of the rainforest. 1 year to get out. Now it takes you 3 weeks to get out if you dropped in the middle. And 3 weeks is still a long fucking time. Nonetheless, guys, that is a problem. So yes, in one aspect, because we're cutting down trees and making way for solar fucking farms and windmills, you can say that we're the cause of that. But to sit there and say that our cars, our meat eating, are the sole source of it is bullshit. You have multiple factories still running in all these countries overseas, in Europe, sorry. You have all of these running out there, and they're blaming us solely for it. Now, all this is entirely consistent with predictions and repeat warnings. The only surprise is the speed of the change. Climate change is here. It's terrifying, and it's just the beginning. It's terrifying. It's terrifying for the guy who's fucking, freshwater, whatever. We're going to see this take a turn for the worse if they keep cutting trees down. Are we still counting my fucking thumbs up? Is that what's going on? I guess that's what's going on. Well, people are dying of heat stroke because listen, you bring down the carbon emission, you bring down the climate, the heat, if you will. If the trees are not scrubbing down according to them guys, greenhouse gas emissions have been reduced globally and quickly. Emphasis adding the fossil fuel companies must chart their move towards clean energy. Again, it's not the fossil fuel companies, it's the fucking factories that are running around the world that are not being addressed. Right? But again, if you also keep trees in play, you can scrub the air and bring the temperature down. This is shit that we learned in fucking elementary school or intermediate school, middle school, sorry. Right? We learned this shit that trees help with the fucking climate. And whatever. They're trying to treat us like we're fucking stupid. They're trying to tell us that this is not so. The trees are not helping out. But again, carbon emissions, trees are the filters. And guess what happens when the trees breathe in that carbon? They turn it into oxygen. So we're sitting here fucking blaming humans only, and they're blaming humans, guys, at our level of meat eating, cars, and that's where we hold the blame. Never anything else. Not the planes that they take, not the boats that they use, not the boats going across the ocean, but the fact that we're eating red meat and we're using cars. Again, they're trying to treat us like we're fucking stupid. But yeah, so anyway, guys, we need for actionable weather information, never end. The need for actionable weather information never ends, and neither do our effort to make the information as accurate as possible. Now, they're not making this information accurate as possible. They're going to continue to fucking lie to us about this bullshit. You know? And whatever. It just sounds like a fucking a shit show that they are ultimately going to continue to carry on. They also been cutting down trees for 5G towers. Someone just put 5G towers and I caught my eye. So if you keep cutting down the trees, guys, you're going to change the atmospheric levels on this planet. You're going to make air less breathable. Right? And so if you plant more trees, and in 10 years, 20 years, depends on the trees you plant. I don't understand. Like like they said that at one time the Amazon rainforest was the Earth's filter system. Now it's down to 3 months of forest. Maybe it's less than that now, right? And again, who gets the blame for this? We do. In fact, Hillary Clinton, like I said in my video, blamed Trump supporters for climate change because we drive pickup trucks and shit like that. Seriously? The lady who's flying in a jet all over the world and the pickup trucks are the fucking... They treat us like we're stupid. And the problem is, guys, people believe this shit. People believe this stupidity, that the climate is now boiling. No, it's not. It was one fucking year. If next year and the year after that it's super hot and Arizona and Texas go through this and it gets even hotter, then yes, I would be like, all right, we got a fucking problem. But if there is a problem, you know what you do? You plant more trees. Like and there's a lot of other things than planting trees that need to be in play. Maybe go over to Europe and look at those factories. Go over to India, look at those factories. Go into China, look at those factories, and like, let's shut those down. Let's shut all of these down first, and let's see what the fucking climate's gonna look like then. Then, if you want to look at cars, maybe, but electric cars have not shown any benefits to the problem. And that's the crazy shit. They're telling us that electric cars are going to help the environment. There's no proof that they are. They're just saying this shit. Oh, because they're not experiencing exhaust. There's other drawbacks from electric cars. But they're not sitting there telling us this. They're just pointing at it and going, "Oh man, this is going to be great." And Klaus Schwab says you don't need gas stoves that eat bugs. And that's the other thing. They're getting rid of gas stoves. Again, look at the fucking factories overseas that are pumping shit around the clock. But they're looking at gas stoves, red meat, cars. And I don't know what and then they're not even looking at the airline industry either. Because listen, if you want to bring us polluting the air, then why don't you look at the airline industry? They won't even touch the airline industry. They won't even look at them and go, well, you guys are also adding to it. No, we're going to go over to the MAGA guys. You guys in your fucking Trump supporting hats, you guys are fucking the environment. The small community of MAGA people are screwing over the entire world. This is where we are now. And people are believing it. Because you got a liberal that's probably going to repeat this shit on TikTok or Instagram and be like, well, the MAGA supporters are the reason why we have to eat bugs now. Because the climate is so bad, we have to eat bugs so that we can get rid of red meat. Again, guys, you got to see that Impossible Meat commercial where the two burgers are talking and that one burger goes, I have less impact on the environment. And people are going to believe this shit. You have less impact on the environment, but you have more impact on the human health. Because Impossible Burgers are way higher in salt and some other chemical in it. And it also has soy in it. What does soy do for guys? You grow titties. You start listening to Barbra Streisand music. You start agreeing with Oprah Winfrey when you start consuming a lot of soy. And these Impossible Burgers have high sodium and a lot of soy. You become a bitch boy when you start eating that shit. Meanwhile, they say they have less environmental impact. So it's an insanity, guys, that they're not even looking at China, they're not looking at India, they're not looking at any of these other countries. They're looking at us. Someone says I like titties. Yeah, not on dudes. Unless you're into that crazy shit. Then there's a ton of fat guys you can flop titties around. But I mean, for the purpose of this conversation, you don't want men turning into bitches. And that's what happens when you eat fucking soy. And that Impossible Burger is fucking insane. He says you start listening to Drake. You start listening to Drake, yeah. Or Lizzo. That's even worse. You start listening to Lizzo and her bullshit. You know what's funny about Lizzo? She got in trouble for... There's a lawsuit about her making one of her dancers eat a banana out of a vagina. But then there was also a documentary director who was doing a documentary on her. And this lady, another black lady, left her. Was like, she's too arrogant. Basically, she's an asshole. And we all know that Lizzo's an asshole. Like, when you listen to Lizzo, you're like, this bitch is a fat asshole. It's a fucking, this bitch, I mean, like, yo, she's fucking a donut away from being rolled often on the stage. Imagine when she gets to that point. Holy shitballs, man. I watched her the other day, like, walking. I'm like, how the fuck does she think that's healthy? And I'm going to tell you something about Lizzo. Lizzo's going to have a heart attack soon. She's going to have a heart attack, and she's going to come to the realization that she was wrong. It happens to every big girl who thinks that that weight is sustainable. Now it's sustainable because she's fairly young, but when she gets that first chest pain or dies of a heart attack, forget it, man. Well, if she dies of a heart attack, that's the end of it. But when she has her first fucking heart attack, she's going to realize she fucked up. You know? And I'm waiting for that day. Because I'm going to be at the keyboard, man, on her fucking webpage, ready to be like, I fucking told you, you fat whore, you shouldn't have fucking kept all that weight. But whatever. I don't want to go down the Lizzo train and start beating her up. She fat shamed her own dancers. She did? No. Blaze, are you sure? That's impossible. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. Which has a... Yeah, Lizzo has a heart attack. She's going to blame MAGA supporters. She says, those MAGA supporters are always fucking bothering me. I'm surprised her knees haven't crumbled yet. oh, Johnny, that'll probably happen first. If that does happen, I'm going to be fucking... Oh, my God. There are so many Negroes out there saying, what? I missed that one. Where the fuck did it go? There's so many Negroes out there saying and doing dumb shit. Online subscriber, yeah, you're right. You know what, online subscriber? There are a lot of people saying a lot of dumb shit. You know, like, you can't even look at it anymore and go, you know, black people logic, that's stupid. White people logic, that's stupid. You can only look at it now and go, liberal logic. They are all stupid. Because the shit that's coming out of everybody's mouth is fucking infuriatingly stupid. I've never heard Rev Rebel said facts. She did. No shit. All right. I didn't know about that. She did. She fat shamed them. All right, Blaze and what you call it. I'll look into that, but I don't have to look into it, but I definitely want to look into it a little more. But yeah, guys, today's society, it's everyone saying stupid shit. You had a guy who said they were trans, who said that they like to be, their pronouns are this, but don't call me that because, you know, I look like a I'm like, what the fuck, man? We're letting the crazy people have too much voice. But that's the drawback. That's the one drawback, guys, of freedom of speech. The problem with freedom of speech, the only problem is we let stupid people have a voice. That's the only problem. You know, other than that, freedom of speech is great. Now, the other side of freedom of speech is we can combat that with facts and shut them down and make them cry. Right? That's the upside of freedom of speech, is we can make these people look stupid. You know, as we should. Because some of the shit that's coming out of their mouths right now is fucking insane. It's just insanity. Like, if my kid was along one of those lines of trying to be transgender, I'd be like, yo, we're not fucking doing this. Matter of fact, let's go camping. I'm going to give him a knife and a stick, and you're not coming back to this campsite until you can get a fish and kill a bear. With those two things. And that's how we fucking do it. I'm not sitting here fucking going to pretend to be like, I'll love you no matter what you are. Nope. I don't play that game. I don't play that I love you no matter what you are bullshit. When you tell your kids, guys, I love you no matter what you are setting your kids up for failure. Because if your kid decides to be a failure, a piece of shit, an asshole, a transgender hypocrite, whatever the fuck it is, you're setting your kids up to take the easier path to be a piece of shit. Now, granted, in your head, You'll love your kids always, no matter what. But you can't tell your kids, I'll love you for whatever you are. If you want to be a ham sandwich, I'll love you even then. Don't do that shit. You're setting them up for failure. You're setting them up for the easier path to become a failure in life. Because a lot of these kids on Instagram, they are failures in life. They are failures completely. They're failures to their entire family by going on telling people, well, I am, they beep, bop, bo, beep, and then they turn into fucking robots. Don't do that shit to your kids. You take the hard stance with them, but behind the scenes, you're always going to love them. You know? But, yeah, don't, you know, and it's funny. I'm hard with my kids, and my kids get it now, or they're starting to get it, because they're seeing what's out there. They're seeing the fucking world. And I'm like, my job is to make sure you guys don't turn into fucking assholes like those people out there. That's my only job. Your mother's job is to fucking love you and make sure you guys are loved. I'm gonna make sure you don't turn into total fucking idiots, because you got to pass this family name on, and I don't want this name to be associated with idiots and morons, right? And you know, and the whole transgender bullshit, or the what do they call it now? The non-binary bullshit. I don't want my kids to be associated with that. And if you are wholeheartedly going to associate yourselves with that bullshit, there goes the door, right? Come back when you get your mind right, you know? They are encouraged to be, yeah, and that's the other thing too. Remember when you were supposed to be different? You were encouraged to be a different person. Now they want you to fall in line and love this bullshit. David Goggins, why running in 100 degrees? Because you ain't motherfucker. Yeah, listen, David Goggins is, you know, he has that mentality that I like. And it's funny because I've always been like that asshole, and now that more guys are coming out with that assholism, guys are like, you know, oh, you sound like this guy. I said, no, motherfucker, I've been pushing that cart, that assholism before everybody the fuck else. Granted, I'm not a Navy SEAL. I'm not fucking David Goggins. I'm not going out for fucking 12-mile run just because I can. You know, I'll go for a 10-pace burpees, but, you know, that's it. I'm not a runner. You know, I'll go to the gym and hit the weights and all of that bullshit. I've always said that the epitome of man is fucking being in the gym, raising testosterone, and lifting heavy weights, and even going for a run occasionally, right? That's what men are supposed to do. Not this bullshit that we're fucking in, sitting here talking about armchair warriors. So I'll punch you in the face. I'm like, you ain't punching shit in the face. Not from behind the computer screen you are, you know? Like, we become such fucking pussies, man. Such pussies. I don't, whatever. That's another conversation for another day, you know. And the spiritual battle that we're seeing, guys, yo, the shit is fucking real. I don't want to go down that road again. Don't want to go down that road. But the spiritual battle shit that we're seeing is fucking insane. I've never seen anything like it in my 46 years of living. We're seeing the bad and the good have it out, first of all, in social media, and then having it out in the real world. And people are going to have to pick a fucking side very, very soon. So now, there was something, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because there was something that I heard that was very interesting. This is a warning, if you will. Supposedly, they're trying to mimic the sound of God, and there is no such thing. But they want to play the sound of God via Project Bluebeam or some kind of listening system or stereo system. And they want to play the voice of God from the sky. Beware of that, because that is in the Bible. I fucking found that out. I was like, and so I saw an actual article on the military looking to play voices in the sky, but they didn't say God. They just said voices in the sky and how it would echo in the air. Now, one thing I know about God is that his voice cannot be heard by every human. It's not meant to be. It's only meant to be heard by chosen few. God's voice would make your head explode, right? It'd be so much love, or there's something about the voice that would kill us if we were actually to hear it in person. If God came down and spoke to you in person, you would die. That is why Jesus was the vehicle of his voice, right? So anyway, don't want to get into that. But yeah, the trumpets and the whole 9 yards, they want to play from the sky. And I'm like, what? That's dangerous shit they're playing with. Dangerous shit. And then if that happens, who's going to believe who? That's the spiritual war we're going to fucking see. But whatever. Didn't want to go down that road. Sorry I did. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go off the air. I want to get to sleep in a little bit. I want to relax a little bit. Wind down from this shit. Go lay down. Read a book. And then we'll see. We'll see what happens in the near future, guys. But other than that, I'm going to fucking call it quits. Thank you for following me. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. I also got to go fix my video that I completely fucked up. But thank you for watching.